Stepping onto the pitch at the World Cup feels like walking into a jet engine. The stadium roars, and the players are hit with the reality of hundreds of millions of people watching their every move. For the Mexican squad, the objective was simple: take control immediately. They had prepared to launch a relentless, high-speed offense from the very first whistle to put the opposition under pressure. On the other side stood South Africa. Playing as the host nation brings a massive wave of local support, but it also creates a suffocating weight of expectation to succeed on home soil. Those opening minutes are a brutal test. Players are flooded with adrenaline, and managing that physical spike while executing a calculated, coordinated strategy is incredibly difficult. Mexico chose to weaponize that early energy. They completely bypassed a slow, methodical buildup and immediately forced South Africa onto their heels with raw speed. This diagram shows exactly how they did it. Rather than challenging the defenders directly, a precise pass was threaded right through the center of the South African formation, instantly bypassing the defense. A Mexican forward caught the pass in stride, raced toward the goal, and buried the ball into the back of the net. The stadium erupted. In a matter of minutes, Mexico had secured a 1-0 lead, forcing South Africa to tear up their initial game plan. But scoring right out of the gate triggers what coaches call the 1-0 trap. The leading team naturally begins to protect their advantage, subtly shifting into a reactive, defensive posture to absorb the inevitable blowback. South Africa refused to fold. Down by a goal, they abandoned any cautious approach and threw their energy into a fierce offensive push to get back into the game. The tension in the stands skyrocketed. The match fractured into a chaotic end-to-end sprint, with both sides trading blows and fans riding every single pass. That offensive surge put the Mexican defense under immense duress. They relied on their goalkeeper to make a series of crucial, acrobatic saves just to keep the scoreline intact. Looking at this player map, we can see South Africa's final gamble. As the clock ticked away, they pushed nearly every outfield player forward into the attacking zone to hunt for an equalizer. Committing that heavily to the attack creates a massive structural void. The entire defensive half of the pitch is suddenly left wide open. That void is exactly what Mexico was waiting for. Deep in their own territory, they won the ball back and killed South Africa's momentum. This tactical map reveals the immediate response. Within seconds of regaining possession, Mexico transitioned to a full sprint, exploiting the open grass. They didn't slowly dribble up the field. They executed a single, perfect pass straight into the striking zone. An attacker met the ball at full speed and unleashed a powerful finish. The scoreboard flipped to 2-0. A counterattack is the harshest penalty in football. If a team abandons its defensive shape to chase a goal, a disciplined opponent needs only one mistake to secure the victory. The second that ball crossed the line, the suffocating tension inside the stadium simply evaporated. Moments later, the referee blew the final whistle, and the players celebrated wildly on the pitch. Up in the stands, their traveling supporters finally released an hour and a half of anxiety, filling the air with cheers and waving flags. Mexico succeeded because they absorbed South Africa's most intense, desperate attacks without making a fatal error in their own half. That dynamic is the lifeblood of the sport. A team can dominate possession and launch wave after wave of attacks, only to lose everything in a 10-second reversal. It's the ability to endure immense psychological pressure, hold the line, and strike with absolute efficiency that makes football so compelling to watch.